Hey, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the NECA Texas Chainsaw Massacre Hitchhiker Nubbins collector set. So of course you know this is based on the original Texas Chainsaw movie from 1974, which I have right on DVD. Now this is one of my all-time favorite horror films too as well, you know. So that's no reason why I actually went ahead and picked this figure up, you know. Plus I'm just now starting to really get into like the retro cloth figures, you know. And I thought the actual Hitchhiker, or you could say Nubbins figure himself, actually looked cool. Like the cloth material looked kind of cool, you know. So that's why I decided to actually go ahead and pick this figure up, you know. And as you can see, this is like a two-pack box set too as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into this right now. So as you can see, it says the box that contains the two-pack set. And this contains the Hitchhiker and Nubbins, because they actually didn't name Nubbins till they actually got to the sequel for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I saw too as well, part 2. Now I must admit it's been a long time since I've seen part 2, you know. But as you can see, this is how they look on the inside. Looks like the accessories that come with them. And it does say the Hitchhiker Nubbins collector set. This also says that it includes a knife, razor, camera, and pelts too as well. And I think it's actually 2 pelts. And then when you look on the back, it says the Hitchhiker right there, which is actually Nubbins, you know. Nubbins, you know. But they didn't name him to the second film. And there's like the puppet too as well. It also says features a posable armature align other figures to puppeteer the puppet, or puppeteer him. That's right, that's for the actual Nubbins puppet itself. Then you also have the Hitchhiker right there too as well. Now on the back of you like a scripture too, it says who will survive when 5 friends on a road trip cross paths with a demented family of cannibals. Nubbins the Hitchhiker is the first member of the Sawyer clan to appear, with his brother Leatherface close behind, and a bizarre bloodbath begins. Although Nubbins meets a gory end, his mortal remains are welcomed back into the Sawyer family and become a puppet-like pal for his other brother Chop Top. So I'm going to open this on up and get into it. Now as you can see, this is the background that comes with the Nubbins and puppet figures. It's like a roll. It's like an armadillo right there too, like in the roll, like there. That's awesome background. I might use this, you know, when I'm taking like pictures. Okay, as you can see, there's the NECA Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2-pack Hitchhiker and Nubbins figure, well, Nubbins puppet, because they're actually both the same. This is actually Nubbins when he was actually alive on the first Chainsaw Massacre, well, you know, Texas Chainsaw, but this is him when he's dead on part 2, you know. Like I said, I've seen part 2, it's just been so long. I actually still have that on tape, and I think like, actually like on VHS, like recorded, you know. I actually have it, you know. But like the actual Nubbins figure, he is like over 8 inches, like in the height. And I think the puppet, and you can't stand the puppet, you know, he has like no feet. It looks like he's about, if you're going all the way to his pants, like just about 7 inches, over 7 inches. Because you can't really stand. Now I guess if I had like another kind of stand, I probably could have stand him, you know. But what I'm gonna do is actually talk about the actual Nubbins, the Hitchhiker figure himself first. So as you can see, the likeness to the actor that plays him, I think is awesome on this figure. I think it's Edwin O'Neill, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe his name is Edwin Neal. But you can see like the actual likeness to him is very good on this, you know. I think this is awesome. I like how you can see that like blood like on his face that he has on his face right there. And that's kind of cool. I noticed that the head has a good rotation in it too, as you can see, you know. Now the cloth material I think is awesome too as well. I noticed you're also gonna lift him up and he looks like kind of like ripped underneath too as well. You see he has like abdominals. Looks like his biceps too as well. I think that's kind of cool. I know he was like very skinny like in the film, you know. Now it does like his arms are kind of you know, kind of limited, you know. I don't want to turn them too much, you know. They do like raise up though, as you can see. does have like a bend too at the elbow. I also noticed that he has like blood right here too, like on his arm. That's what I do recall when he actually had cut himself, you know, that's when he had flipped out when he was like in the van. So you can see like he has like blood right there on his arm too. And that's kind of cool. He also has like this separate piece right here, you know, that's like removable too. Well, I ain't gonna say removable, but you can like turn it. And I like these pants too. Like I say, some of these retro car figures that NECA do make are pretty awesome. Like some of the ones when they're like this, they're not overly baggy, you know. They're done very good, you know. There's no question I probably would eventually prefer a figure like this, you know, because the pants and the shirts aren't like overly baggy, you know. You also can see like the blood dripping down right there on his hand too as well from when he cut himself. But yeah, even the pants are like nicely done too. Now one thing I do notice, he doesn't have any peg holes under his feet, you know. I think that's kind of bad. Nice leg kind of lift up too as well. He has a bend too at the knee. Feet rotation too as well. So he does have good articulation. The hands can rotate. The ab crunch too. And he does stand pretty well too, you know. He does stand pretty well. Now what I want to do is actually talk about the actual the puppet to itself. So this here is actually the Hitchhiker when he's actually dead on part 2, because you know, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, at the end the Hitchhiker right here, which is still Nubbins, still this right here, he was ran over by the truck, you know, at the end, but they actually kept like his body, you know, like his decayed body, and this is how he looked. Cause you can see he has like the same like material too. See how he has the same shirt and the same pants and so on. Now he didn't have his jacket, of course. But as you can see, this is the actual so-called Nubbins puppet. Now, like I said, it's been a while since I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, you know. But I have seen it, you know. I don't recall really being like a big fan of that one, you know. I prefer like the original one. But as you can see, he has like these different like eyes too. One is blue and one is red, you know. You can see that he has really been like decaying too and so on, you know. He even has like this hair too as well, this jacket. Now I do notice that even though he has like hands right here, you can tell this is like, it's something like, it ain't no arm in here, it's like flat, you know. There's like no arm in there, even though he has like hands, you know, like decaying hands. Even the legs, you can tell, you can't even like bend them or nothing, it's like flat, as you can see. There's nothing inside there. But as you can see right here, he has like these hanging things right here, where you can actually like make him like into like a puppet, as you can see. But I think this is a nicely, I can't remember how true to the source it really is, because it's been a while since I watched part 2, you know. I do notice too, if you look on back of the Nubbins puppet, he actually has like this thing right here, like on his head, right there, where you can like puppeteer him. I think, as you can see, you can actually like move it up and down. Cause what I think you do, cause what I've seen like in other videos, is you actually can take the actual Hitchhiker himself, or Nubbins when he's still alive, you know, right here, and you can actually somehow put his hand like on the back of the puppet's like head, and you can be actually controlling him like as if he's like controlling like a puppet, you know. As you can see like that, the Nubbins puppet and the Hitchhiker, you actually can have them like, you know, like that. Now I don't really have it on completely, because you can see you actually got to have them straps like on his hand, you know, which is kind of tricky to do. And like I say, from what I'm hearing, it's been a while since I've seen part 2. It wasn't the Hitchhiker that had the puppet like that, you know. It was like, I think, Leatherface that carried the puppet on part 2, and like I think the other brother, you know, that carried the puppet. But you can't do like that, because you also can put like the straps there right here. You can also put these around like the Hitchhiker's like feet too as well, you know, if you want. So as you can see, you can put them around the feet. Kind of having trouble with it, you know. And it does like he still stands, you know, but you can tell he gets kind of like weighted down, you know. Alright. Now what I want to do is actually talk about the actual accessories that come with the Hitchhiker and Nubbins puppet set. As you can see, this here is the actual knife. And it's like, it has like some blood on it too as well. Now this one doesn't fold up or anything, you know. And as you can see, there's the actual knife in the hitchhiker's hand. So you can't get it in and have like any trouble. Then have to loosen it. And the next accessory that comes with the Hitchhiker and Nubbins puppet is this actual pelt right here. Then what you do is actually take the hitchhiker, and I guess you just slide it on like this. Once you get it on, that's how it actually looks. Now I must admit, I do have trouble getting this pelt to go around his neck, because like it was kind of tight, you know. But I got it though. And the next accessory that comes with the NECA Texas Chainsaw Massacre Hitchhiker and Nubbins puppet set is this actual camera right here too. Now this probably is the coolest accessory that comes with the figure. It even has like a strap too as well. I know in the film I think this came open. It wasn't open like this, it was actually closed, but it came open, you know. I think that's kind of cool. Man, this is nicely done too. So I guess if you want, you can just take this and just put this around the hitchhiker's head too, or his neck, you know, if you want. So you can actually have both of them like just hanging. And the last accessory that comes with the actual hitchhiker himself, or for him, is another cool accessory too. This is the actual razor right here, as you can see. Now it even closes, and you also can even open it too. So I think that's kind of awesome. That you actually can open it. It isn't like froze like that. You can actually open it. So I think that's kind of cool. As you can see, there's the Hitchhiker Nubbins with the razor in his hand. And the last accessory that comes with this set is the actual, just another pelt. Right here, like just like the Hitchhiker Nubbins has, you know, you have a pelt for the actual puppet too as well. So then what you do is just like slide this around the puppet's like head, as you can see. Now this one isn't as tight. And there it is, it just hangs right there. I said it's been a while since I watched part 2, but I've seen it though a couple of times. And this right here is like my NECA Ultimate Leatherface figure too, based on the original one, you know. Now as you can see, Nubbins, the Hitchhiker Nubbins, you know, is actually a little taller than him. But the retro cloth figures are like 8 inches in scale, you know, whereas like the Ultimate figures mostly are like 7 inches in scale. And they do have this Leatherface like in retro cloth too as well, you know. So as you can see, like the size difference in these two. Alright. Okay, there's the NECA Texas Chainsaw Massacre Hitchhiker and Nubbins puppet collector set. I think this is an awesome set to have, and like I said, I really mainly got it because I really just wanted this particular figure right here, you know, the actual Hitchhiker himself. But that's actually Nubbins, like when he's like still alive, you know. That's where I really was aiming at, you know. I wasn't really too big or too thrilled about getting the actual puppet, you know, from part 2. But of course, you know, the first figure right here, the way he's alive, the Hitchhiker, is actually based on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, which I have on DVD. This is one of my all-time favorite horror films too, as well, you know. But yeah, I would definitely recommend picking these up, especially I guess if you're like a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre like franchise. I would definitely recommend it, or just like a fan of like the first film, you know, or first 2 films, you know. Kind of like the second one is kind of like very popular too as well. I know like a lot of fans like the second one, you know. Like I said, I've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, but it's been like so long, you know. I actually have that on tape too, but I think it's like actually recorded, if I'm not mistaken. Like on VHS, I actually had to record it, you know. And from way back then when it first came to VHS, like in the 80s, that's when I actually got it, you know. But yeah, I would definitely recommend picking these up, you know. And this is the NECA, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Hitchhiker and Nubbins puppet collector set, 2-pack collector set. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well. The events of that day will forever foreshadow one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Do 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 do.